What's up, everybody? It's your main man, Bennett, back here and again, and welcome, of course, my closest and dearest of friends, to another installment of the All About It podcast, and we cannot thank you enough for joining us today. And by we, I don't mean me, of course. We've been through this before, although if you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Bargles. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Now, allow me a moment, and I will introduce you to the one, and the most likely the only. I have yet to come across another. It's Arielle.
I have met others.
You've met other Arielles?
Yeah.
Oh.
There was an Arielle, a male boy, that went to my high school.
Oh, okay. Because that's when you start to get, like, the areola.
Right.
Right.
I started to say right, and something happened in my throat.
That's, what is the areola again? Is it part of the nipple?
The areola?
Part of the,
it's the part around the nipple.
Oh, very important.
Right.
Very important.
Right.
What is the nipple without?
Week in review, Bargles.
Take it away.
We have been having the best weather, and I know that other parts of the country have not, and I think about it a lot, but this has been a turning point this week in terms of, like, weather here.
Oh, it definitely feels like there's been a turning of the weather.
It's a spurt. It's a phase. It's going through a phase. It's gonna change again, but it's dry right now, and it's warm. I've been roller skating outdoors in shorts with other women.
I mean, that just sounds like a great thing to watch. Right?
I mean, every time we'd pass a group of, I would say, like, boomer age, they'd be like, oh, love the retro skates, ladies. So beautiful. Love them. Or this lady would be like, where can I get some of those? And it's just so cute. Very,
yeah, I mean, roller skating.
We love a supportive community.
Roller skating and rollerblading are getting pretty cool.
I did see some inline skaters yesterday.
Some blades.
Yeah, blades.
Some blades.
So that's what I've been doing.
Grind that rail, grind this rail.
Right.
I'll give you something to grind.
I know you will.
Yeah. I got a bunch of rails in my shorts.
I cannot with you, but
right?
this morning you were in the transition of getting out of your jammies and going into, like, street clothes.
The jams into the daily attire. Yes, it's a transition that takes place every day.
So you took off your gray sweats, which I love, by the way.
Did I do it fast or slow?
I don't remember that part.
Was there a musical accompaniment to my undressing?
I don't remember that part, but you took your pants off and you were in your little what do you call the kind of underwear you wear?
They're boxer briefs.
Okay, so they're, like, tight and short.
They're not little. They are an appropriate size.
Okay. So you have your t-shirt on though. And you start telling me a story, and you're being really serious, and you're, like, putting your hand on your hip and, like, pacing and doing your thing, and I'm like, oh my God, you could be a TED person, a speaker.
A pantsless TED talker.
Yes.
Yeah.
So coming to a theater near you, Bargles, pantsless, doing TED Talk examples.
Yeah, and they're running out of theaters that do that. They're closing them all down. There used to be a lot more of them, I think.
I know, but, like, the world needs your pantsless TED Talks is what I'm saying.
Well, something that, if you're a fan of the show, something you should know about me, Bargles Man 5000, is that every morning I wake up with a lot of energy. Yeah. And I don't have, an office to go to. I don't have strangers to impress.
Foreshadow.
So instead, I just start yelling at my wife whatever I got. Top of my head. I always got something. So today, what was it? Best business practices for people that we don't even know. I don't even know what I was talking about.
Or you told me a story about some guy getting in a fight at a bar in Ohio.
Right. I basically I give her, like, Barstool news secondhand. Yeah. As if it just happened to me last night.
Right. And what did you say about, you're like, unless you're something about guys that are, like, 20 that go to bars that are in college. I can't remember. Whatever it was, it made me laugh really hard.
You're not looking for a fight.
Yeah.
But, like, especially if you're in, like, Ohio and you're 20 at a bar and you're drinking, obviously, because that's what
right.
that's what you do. And also, I don't understand how you could be 20 at a bar. I thought you had to be 21, but I don't even know. I don't know how it works anymore. Don't know how it works.
I never had a fake ID. I was too.
I did.
Freaked out. I know you did.
I did.
Whoops.
My fake ID was the picture of my roommate at the time, Derek. Shout out Derek King. Love you, buddy. And it was his picture. Looked nothing like me. It said I was 6'4". I'm 5'8".
So sorry.
5'8.5". It also said I weighed like 200 pounds at the time. Well, actually, I weighed.
You were a rail.
Probably weighed. Yeah, I was probably like 160 at the time.
No way.
What,
you were
think
probably
less?
like 145.
Yeah, maybe something like that.
Oh my god.
Body dysmorphia. I did not think I was as
You
skinny
were
as I was.
quite thin, sir.
Right. Well,
That's what happens
what was
when you
the other
live
thing?
off
It was a
of mac and
Canadian
cheese.
ID too, and it said I was like 29.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like 19 using a 29-year-old's ID, and it worked.
Yeah.
It worked multiple times.
Yeah.
It worked very well. Just go to a bowling alley because they do not
bowling
care.
alley.
And they got beer at bowling alleys too.
Oh, that's what you used the ID for, was beer at the bowling alley.
Yeah.
My god.
Right.
Well, in case anyone wants an update on our Nintendo Switch, we still don't have it. We have everything we need for it, but we don't have the console.
It's in the mail. Can you not just cool it?
What's your tracking?
A couple freaking UPS.
I'm so
USPS?
sorry.
Hey, speaking of USPS.
Your belly, your belly just came out.
Speaking of USPS, I'm representing the United States Postal Service right there, baby.
On his chest.
That's right.
With a graphic t-shirt.
When the Seahawks season is over, I start repping my other team, which is USPS.
Love it.
UPS and DHL can just get out of here.
What about FedEx?
I like the old school.
Amazon?
No, I like the rain, sleet, snow. Okay?
Okay.
We'll get you where you need to go. Is that great? That's Greyhound. I like them too. I'm waiting on a Greyhound sponsorship.
I don't know if I've
Get
ever
free
said
bus
this.
passes to go places that no one goes.
Ugh. I've never said this I don't know if I've said it on the podcast, but why do mail trucks look like they're from the 1930s? Like, why hasn't USPS, like...
Upgraded? I mean...
Is it just, like, out of tradition? Is it out of functionality? Like, what is it about that
Could
boxy...
be a financial thing.
Sure.
Who's going to pay for it?
Sure.
You want to pay
right.
for it? You want to flip the bill?
And they have more important things to worry about now.
That'd be like tens of thousands of mail trucks across the country. We would have to retrofit and upgrade. That's millions upon millions of dollars. I'm not here for that.
Okay, I'm just saying. I'm not complaining. I think they're cute. I'm just saying.
Right.
When do they make the switch?
Well, it's like I see these ice cream trucks, like the old school ones, and I immediately implicitly remember my childhood. Remember, like, I could jump in there and feel totally cozy, getting myself a little Otter Pop or a push-up pop or
you would choose an
baseball
Otter Pop
glove with like the gum ball in the inside. But what I've seen around our neighborhood is less and less of those, and more just like a random van,
like a clean white van.
No. Not even a clean white van.
I've seen those.
I'm seeing like a dark gray busted ass.
Oh, I've seen a
van.
blue one. Anyway, those baseball mitts with the gum in the middle, my childhood nightmare.
Right.
You could not pay me.
That was a nightmare?
Mare?
Yeah, okay.
Did I say mirror?
I don't know what you said.
I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You get it. You get my gist. Horrible, could not pay me thousands of dollars to eat that.
Can't even pay you?
No.
Well, I always wondered. It's not ice cream. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, someone's out there going like, actually, my father spent the last 40 years and retired very well working for the baseball mitt ice cream novelty treat factory in Poughkeepsie.
To put like a dairy treat engulfed around gum.
What it around?
Oh my God. Engulfed.
Engulfed? Okay.
Surrounding.
Right.
I cannot handle it.
Maybe we'll force you to eat one on like a live
Where are you going to find it,
feed.
Barks?
Summer's right around the corner.
Where are you going to find it?
They still sell them.
Summer's right around the corner.
Yes.
Okay.
It's right around the corner.
Calm down.
Talk to the people in Texas right now. Summer's right around the corner.
I'm so sorry.
Talk to the people in like every other part of the country where it's like
know.
several inches of this and a lot of sleet.
Slate?
Yes. Yeah.
Kelly Slate?
Are we gonna fight at some point in this?
I know, I feel it.
Like there's
I feel
like this energy going on.
You're
where,
really annoying
like,
today.
Halfway. Whoa. Excuse me.
I said it. I meant it.
So for the rest of the show, we're just going to go with camera 1 here. All the other cameras just magically turned off.
No, they didn't. I see myself.
You know what? I don't even know what today's episode's all about. I don't. And you know what? I don't care. I feel like walking off the set.
You're not going to.
Where would I go? I'd go over there, to the other side of the facility.
5 feet away, where the other side of the apartment is.
So, okay. Although in jest, I do know what today's episode is about. I
do?
I do. No, I don't.
You're breaking the fourth
Yes,
wall.
I do. No, I don't. Do I? Don't I? Could I? May I? Mother, may I? Remember that?
Oh my God, can we please have a Mother Goose episode?
No. But when it comes to Mother Goose, I'm so glad you brought her up, because there is no one I would rather talk to more on the show than Mother Goose, because she knows how to treat a man. And if there's one thing that I know about Mother Goose, she knows how to just wine them and dine them. So I think you could take a lesson from Il Madre Goose.
You're telling me that you would prefer a fictional animal that can talk and make rhymes, that lays eggs, and you suppose that she is polite to men.
I don't know. I was picturing the woman that lived in the shoe, actually. So I don't know if that's not that Mother Goose didn't live in the shoe. That was just one of the stories, the fables.
Right.
There wasn't a lady who lived in a shoe. I don't
Like
know
I
why
said,
she lived in a shoe.
Why we haven't
Perhaps
done
she'll die. Is that how it goes?
I don't know, but we need to do a Mother Goose episode.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm really glad that in the past 2 minutes we were able to diffuse the fight between us, and we can move on now with love and
I love you.
possibility.
Okay.
So, so sorry for those who have never tuned into the show.
I'm crying.
It's like just an apology that we don't know what we're doing. So today's episode is all about.
It's all about working from home, part 2. Do you hear my rings? How are my chains?
Your chains are gangsta, Grandpa. Okay.
Grandpa.
So what is great about this podcast, if I can...
Oh, wow.
Can I call it a podcast?
May I be so bold?
Can I do that? What is great about it, if there was anything, is the fact that there are people that email us with, like, sincere emails.
Yeah.
With questions about life, business, and otherwise. And it could be you. We could be talking about you today. Or on another future episode, allaboutitpodcast@gmail.com. If you have episode topics, ideas, or serious life problems that we will make seem less important.
Yeah.
Not on purpose, but just kind of like...
Just because it's the show.
That's the kind of the show.
Right.
So why don't we just get into some of these very heartfelt questions that have been asked around the topic of working from home, managing a business, working as a team. We've gone over some of these topics in previous episodes as well. Just as a little reminder, episode 3, all about being a photographer. It's a long time ago.
Oh, that was
It's like 2 years ago.
I basically told my story of how I got started.
Right.
That needs a refresh.
About 2 years ago, we did all about how we make money. I know things have changed. We probably need to update that. But we've talked about how we work from home together, what our first jobs were, managing an e-commerce online shop. And another episode, episode 87, several months ago, we did a question and answer then as well. We have more questions, therefore we will attempt more answers.
Yes.
Is that fair?
Yes.
Is that good?
Yes.
Is that all right? Okay. So
take it away, Dave.
How about question number 1? Do you love what you do?
Oh, you know it.
Do you love it? Do you love what you do?
Yeah.
Serious?
Yeah.
You do?
I was actually...
How much do you do?
So much so that I don't know what retirement looks like for me. I don't know what that looks like or entails. If it has anything to do with like being in Italy or
you want to retire
Europe,
you want to
just sporadically, like going there.
You want to be able to do
Go
international travel in retirement.
That would be great. I can't imagine stopping this at any point. I don't really care to.
You want to retire and do what you really want to do right now, which is go to Italy.
Yeah.
So you basically are like when I retire, I'm going to do all the things I don't have the time to do now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're spending all your time to accumulate resources to eventually go to Italy. By the time that you have the resources, you might be older.
We're going before
You might be frail.
Yeah, but we're going before I retire.
Might not be able to handle all the steps.
Oh, maybe it's not Positano.
Fair
maybe
enough.
I'm in Tuscany
Or Sorrento.
painting on a balcony. Oh.
That's true. I think this question is mainly for you.
Mm-hmm.
I know I love what I do because what I do is life every day, and I would prefer it to the alternative, which is death.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take it.
Yeah, thanks for that.
I'll take life every time, even if it's not so good. I'll take it.
You are one of the first people I think of when it comes to being grateful for every day and every moment and embracing it. You truly make the most of it.
Thank you. I'll take that as a complimentary thing.
You motivate me. You're constantly doing things like you're constantly doing things that you are passionate about, and you're consistent, and it just makes me want to be more of those things. So,
well, okay. Thank you, because I don't feel that way about myself, and it's nice to get that little dose of okay.
That's a whole other podcast.
I feel the same way about you in a way, but I think like one of the things that helped me become more that way in the past few years, like working with you, is realizing how lazy I am.
Right.
How I have a horrible attention span. Instead of trying to pretend like I can do it all and I am great and I'm going to figure it all out, I know my flaws. Mm-hmm. I know them, and I answer the call. How about we answer another question? Hey, guys. Did you guys have any goals when you first started the podcast or the print shop? And if so, what were they? Did they come true? What are your goals now? And sorry if that's a lot of questions.
I might need a refresher as we go through. So the goals for the podcast and the business, or was it the print shop specifically?
Podcast goals, print shop goals.
Let's stop there.
Did they come true? What are the goals now?
Okay, let's stop at the first one.
Okay.
Let's talk about the podcast really quick.
Okay.
Do you want to say our mantra?
It doesn't have to be good. It just has to exist. Or something like that.
We love that.
Yeah.
I think that goes for everything when you're trying to start something.
It definitely helped because we talked about starting a podcast for a couple of years before it became very more like serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're waiting for something to be perfect before you start, it'll never start.
Like we worried
because nothing's ever perfect.
We were worried at the beginning that it wouldn't be any good, and now look at us now. Like it's not good now, but look at how long we've been doing not good for, and
let's
it's
hold
made.
Hands.
Oh, yeah. So it might be getting better. I don't know. I don't watch it. Let us know what you think in the comment section below, or if you're listening on Spotify, just think it.
Yeah.
Whatever you would write in the comments, just think it in your head and think, yeah, I'd post that. I'd do that.
So basically,
goals.
Yeah, I just wanted to say like.
So no goals. There were none.
There were not with the podcast, no.
Not any real like, okay, at this point I want this.
Right.
Did we have anything like how many listeners?
Nothing. There's no structure besides how we formulate the episodes and then this new YouTube thing.
Right.
I mean, that's pretty much it.
I mean, honestly, we did not have a goal to get on YouTube.
No.
When we started. I think what happened over the past couple of years is we watch a lot of YouTube.
We both do.
And we watch different things, and we kind of just realized I watch a lot of podcasts and like radio shows, but I realized I stopped at some point listening on Overcast and on the podcast app and on Spotify, and I started just watching them on YouTube, and I immediately felt like, what do we got to do to make that happen? Mm-hmm. And it seemed like a ton of work.
It is. But it's all relative, right? What's a lot of work to one person is nothing to another.
So I think the goals with the podcast are still being formulated. Mm-hmm. I don't even think we really ever.
We don't have any, which is no help, but whatever.
Yeah, it probably means
our story.
It probably means that things move a lot slower when you don't have really defined goals and expectations that you're trying to like achieve. Because then you can like create this roadmap to achieve that thing. If you don't have that thing, then you're still like on the road. You just don't know where the hell you're going.
Yeah.
And so you're like, yeah, we're thankful for where we are. It's like, well, yeah, no, yeah, of course you are, because you're lost, and but you're still here. So, yeah.
So goals for the print shop, I really didn't have any for that either. And what?
I did.
Oh, really? Do
Yeah.
you want to talk about it?
Yeah, I wanted to make money enough to be able to pay for our cell phone bill.
I think that happened a while ago.
That was it. I was like, yeah, let's just do this.
Our cell phone
Let's
bill.
get this website up so we can make like $60 a month and it'll pay for the cell phone. And we were both like, oh, wouldn't that be cool? If we were like started selling like prints and we were making like $60, $70.
What was the next thing?
Every month we'd make $60, $70?
Yeah. What was the next thing, Rent?
I think that was the next goal when we realized how small of a goal the first goal was, like how achievable it became.
Right.
Like, oh man, that would be crazy if that happened. And then it happened, but then more happened. And then you have to set a new goal. And then the new goal became like, yeah, paying our rent. Our rent's pretty cheap for the area.
Yeah.
Full disclosure.
We'll talk about it one day.
Like way below the market average. We're
Yeah.
kind of grandfathered in. So yeah, we wanted the print shop to be able to pay our rent.
Yeah.
And then that was the next goal. And then, lo and behold, that in turn was another smallish goal in the bigger scheme.
Right.
Because it's something that can grow even bigger.
But it's not like launch day we were, raking it in at all.
No, in fact, there was a lot of like negative money in
right.
order to make it happen.
Yeah.
Both like hours you spent and that I spent working on stuff and talking to people and all of the work that goes into like the back end of the prints, like our contacts with our different distributors and manufacturers and all that stuff was like the research and development side. Like none of that, we really haven't gone too into detail about that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much money we spent to make that happen, but it helped though, because that was like the commitment we needed to take it more serious.
Oh yeah. And now it feels like its own thing, like separate from everything else we do. It's like its own thing that we have to work on and plan for constantly now, as opposed to before when I felt like it was just like a little part of the business. It's like its own business now. Yeah,
and I think on top of that, we had such low expectations and goals for it. Other people basically created the new expectations and goals for us by helping us get it bigger. Not like financing it or anything like that, but we can only see what we see. We only know what we know between the two of us. Neither one of us went to a business school or got a marketing degree or anything like that.
Yeah.
So other people would like plant these little ideas every now and again of, oh, you should try this or you should do this. Or someone would email with a custom order. Mm-hmm. That was happening all the time at the beginning because we had like limited SKUs, sizes, and styles and all that. It was more limited.
Yeah.
And then like through the conversation with people, we added more, took out some stuff, and it'll always be a work in progress.
Yeah.
But some of the best ideas we've ever had, they're not our ideas. We got them from probably someone listening right now that emailed us saying like, hey, what about you get this size? Or you do it like, you should have some horizontal options.
Right.
Like that.
Right.
It seems so obvious.
Yeah.
But we didn't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so it's stuff like that. Or why don't you have a smaller size? And now the 5x7s that are in the print shop, that was someone else's idea, wasn't ours. And people love the 5x7. I love them. You love them. People bought something small.
I just can't believe it's going to be 4 years this summer.
That's nuts. That's nuts.
Just to give you an idea.
God, that's
bunch of crap.
How fun is that?
What was the next part of that question?
Goals at the start of the podcast or print shop. What were they? I think we kind of hashed
that. Did
they come true? I mean, yeah, because they were so little.
Goals I didn't know that I had came true, like having a collage kit in World Market, for example.
Right.
Didn't know that was a possibility in my life.
Yeah, it wasn't our idea.
No,
can't take credit for that.
Absolutely not.
When someone reached out, said, hey, we have an idea. We think it'd be great.
Yeah.
And we're like,
I'm like,
yeah, that does sound great.
Who, me?
Where have you been? And welcome to my inbox.
Yeah.
And we will do whatever you need us to do. That's
pretty much any email, great relationship.
Any email we get.
Yeah.
end of the question, what are your goals now? That
Okay.
actually might be. Try and keep.
Right.
We have other questions though, so
Right.
maybe
So I'm gonna wrap this up.
podcast, print shop
Right.
goals. Take it away, Lou.
Podcast, basically just keep doing what we're doing here on YouTube, and obviously like with YouTube comes another episode to your listening ears if you're listening on an app, just in your headphones. But in terms of YouTube, we want to have more content come out just besides the weekly episodes, which is something we're working on behind the scenes right now. And then also we'd like to start going live more and
like
just
a weekly live,
and just like engaging with community more, and that's pretty much it.
So those are the immediate goals. Ultimate goal for the print shop is to make $1 million.
$1 million.
$1 million so that we can.
I'm just kidding. No, I think just moving forward is to just keep doing what I've been doing, because I just, like I said, with like World Market, for example, you never know what's going to happen.
No, you can be honest about the print shop now, like in terms of goals, is growth. Like that's a goal, and that's something that we want. Obviously,
I'm proud of it. It has exceeded.
So if it stayed
what I thought possible,
exactly as it's doing right now, if it did that
forever,
how big of a blessing is that?
I am
But
no words.
There's avenues where it could stay the same, get worse, or get better.
Yeah.
And there are things that we can do today to decide which avenue we want to go.
Yeah.
So because there are things that we can do today, then we'd probably lean towards the growth, because it's an option to have it. So it's kind of like being a good person. If it's an option, you should just lean your life that way. Leaning your life the other way might be a little harder.
Right.
So, what's the hardest thing you've ever had to do in the photography world?
Hardest?
The hardest thing you've ever had to do in the photography world.
Other than dealing with conflict that was out of my control, I would say it was nerves when I was working with Netflix. But that wasn't hard. It's a different feeling. I don't think anything has ever been really hard. I think about, like, this might sound dramatic to someone who, I don't know, I'm just going to say it. Working a 16-hour wedding is physically taxing in a way that I've done half marathons. I've trained my body for those things, and there's nothing like a wedding.
So then, if that's the answer, didn't you do a Friday wedding and then a Saturday wedding?
No, or a Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
You did 3 weddings back to back.
Yes, only once ever.
Then that,
and there are other people.
The
there are other people shooting weddings that do like 4 weddings a week,
right?
Every week of the year. But I never really had that. I had quite a few double headers throughout my time, but never 3 in a row like that. Never.
So that would probably be up there.
By Sunday night, I was hoarse, and my feet
sick.
Hurt. My voice is hoarse.
You probably got
a little sick.
A little sick. Even just like the body anxiety.
This was like 6 or 7 years ago.
Wow. The thing about doing those 3 weddings, do you feel like one of them you're kind of phoning in compared to the others?
No.
No,
no.
Yeah, that's not your style.
Nah.
You'll go even harder on that 3rd wedding because you are tired. You're like, I have to like overcompensate.
So imagine reception of that 3rd night. People like drunk and dancing, and you're just like sober and about to fall over, and I had to be like, all right, everybody get in the middle and like do like cheers, and I'm like below everyone, and I'm like about to pass out.
It's midnight and you haven't gotten the check from the aunt. And you're like,
that did not happen for that one.
Where are you, Aunt Lippy?
Oh my God, that did not happen.
Where are you? I'm looking for. Oh, there she is. Oh God, she only has one eye open.
Oh yeah, right. That did not happen for that one. But there were multiple times where the last portion of the payment was due the day of, which is so no. But regardless, I would have to like scout the person who was supposed to pay me, realize who they were, and more often than not, they had been drinking and had no idea who I was. And I had to bring it up and be like, excuse me.
And obviously, if they're at like a table or they're dancing or something, they don't have it on them. It's always somewhere else
in a bag.
Like,
yeah.
Oh, let me go find it.
It's on a bed somewhere. It's like, okay. We can go to the next
So I think that the realist answer is there is nothing.
There's not.
By the definition of this household, there's nothing hard because there are people that work in emergency rooms. There are people that
that's
are
not
first
hard.
responders. There are teachers that have to do like distance learning for people. Like there are people that we understand have a critically more challenging, harder daily grind that we can't relate to.
That's why I keep thinking like it's not hard. Yeah. It's not.
Well, when you put things in context, and perspective, I mean, it's kind of like, well, there's always someone that is working harder through more strife with a better attitude.
Here's the thing. If there was an asteroid that was coming and they had to pick people based on their skill level to keep alive and put them in a bunker,
I've seen that movie.
I would not be one of those people.
They would pick you.
No,
you
they
would
wouldn't.
Get picked.
What, as like the community entertainer? No.
The community entertainer? No, they probably get like a stand-up comedian for that.
Uh-huh. Anyway.
Sure. So, when do you take your lunch?
Never. I'm just kidding.
Are we a big lunch house?
No, we're not. I would say, let's see. I'm just going to say I wake up around 6:30 or 7. I get up. I drink a ton of water. I get in my workout clothes, do that thing. Halfway get ready or not. It depends on how I'm feeling. I'll eat breakfast around 10 or 11. First bite, 10 or 11. I don't like eating first thing in the morning. I used to. Lunch lately has been something very light between 2 and 3 p.m. And then we have like a relatively, like, you know, what do you call it when it's like early dinner? I don't know.
Dinner?
Yeah, dinner. It's
like
all, it's based on the time of year, it's different. Based on our schedule, it's different. Like I can't be that structured just because of like what we have going on.
Yeah, I don't take a lunch. I didn't take a lunch when I worked at an office.
Mm-hmm.
I worked through my lunches for the past 10 years.
Sometimes you don't eat until like 4 or 5 in the afternoon.
Yeah,
but clearly it's working for you.
Pretty normal. I remember working at the hotel and working, and I hated taking a lunch. I wanted my workday to be
done.
over.
You wanted to come
and
home.
I feel like taking a break is like pushing back going home. Mm-hmm. And it would kind of piss me off. Mm-hmm. And so if there were places or times that I could not take a lunch, like when I worked with my old boss Rich doing concrete stuff, it was always a conversation because he had other people that used to work for him that would always be like, hey man, I really need to take a break, it's time to take a lunch, man. And they would take like an hour,
that's not
a 45 minute to an hour long lunch, just like sitting in the truck, like listening to the radio. And it's like, that sounds like a freaking nightmare to me.
I know.
Like I'd rather be like, he'd be like, do you want to take a lunch today? He'd ask me that, which was probably the nicest thing he ever did. And I'd say like if you want to take a 5-minute break, we can take a 5-minute break, but I'd rather just like go home at 2.
You guys would bang it out and come home.
Well, also it's like we were working in places like Alpine, Lakeside, Santee. Mm-hmm. For those that are uninitiated, those are like the hot desert, deep San Diego areas that it's like in the summertime when you're working outside, you have to get there at 5, 6 a.m. and it's already hot.
Yeah, you have to be done early.
So you got by noon, 1 o'clock, it's too hot.
You're screwed. It's like not healthy.
You can't be out there doing it, so you need to be there crazy early and you just need to get done. Yeah. But we'd work with guys that are like lackadaisical, like, oh, I'm just one of the guys.
But with what we do now, it doesn't matter if we like. To me, it's like, okay, I can either take a really long break and eat, or I can have my day end sooner. But then I've never had a time where I was like,
the day doesn't end.
My day ends.
The day never ends.
I never have a time where I'm like, oh, close my laptop. I am totally done for the day. No. I feel like I've never felt that in my time.
Even before I started really working with you full time, and I was working with you like part time, I guess you could say. Like I'd come off work and I'd come home and I would do like customer service stuff for the print shop. It never really occurred to me that it was like work. Like I'm okay, God, it's going to be such a grind. Clock in at 8, clock out at 4. It's more just like part of our lifestyle is I wake up and there's always something that we can be working on. And so I wake up and start working on it. There's always something that can, that it's even on the weekends. like I don't know it's the weekend.
I feel like that's where
my day doesn't change on a Sunday
right.
as opposed to a Tuesday.
See, mine kind of does because I give myself some leniency knowing that we're not really going to get emails on Saturdays or Sundays. We get them, but like I don't feel obligated to reply until Monday morning because I like to think of it as we're a business.
That's fair, and that's true. That's true.
But like if it's urgent, obviously we'll get back to them. Or if it's a customer service thing, it's like we always want to get back to those people very quickly. Mm-hmm. But I've never, I don't.
Well, I look at it like this too. Customer service and any business that you love or go to, mm-hmm. like you're probably going to go to Trader Joe's today. Mm-hmm. They're open every day of the week.
Yeah.
If you need to go to Target, they're open every day of the week. And while we are not Trader Joe's or Target, and we never will be, I believe in giving people customer service whatever day they reach out. It's a pain in the ass, like hoping to get some help on something.
Yeah.
And like then waiting.
Especially when you've spent money or you have a question and you're willing to support this small business. It's like the other thing is DMs. Mm-hmm. I'll get so there's DMs to my account. There's the email account. There's a second email account. And then I feel like I'm missing one. But it all has to get organized and like, people reach out in different ways and you just have to like do it no matter what. But with that being said, I like to try and take at least Sundays to myself and do something. Lately, I've been kind of pushing it. But it's fine. It's fine.
So you take your lunch at noon. Cool.
No.
Love the show. Was hoping to start a print shop of my own one day. Oh, well. I hope you're good.
Loved. Oh my God, Bargles.
She's competition. I do not like. No, I'm just kidding. We support people that are asking for support. Let's see. Oh, what's something you would have done differently with your shop if you had to do it over again?
Started sooner.
Really?
Yeah.
Just started sooner.
Yeah. So if you're on the fence, just do it. Because imagine
a year, like if we started in July of 2016, and where it would be now.
Yeah.
I tell you, those spreadsheets would look better.
Very different.
I think they would look better because we would have learned the things faster. We would have implemented the changes We would have gotten the emails from friends and family and customers being like, "You should try this," or "You should do."
So here's the thing: if you're on the fence about starting something, imagine your life a year from now having started it today. Mm-hmm. Or if you had thought about doing it a year ago and have done it up until this point, imagine what your life would be like now having done it for a whole year. And then with that, starting as soon as possible, you're basically starting the process of learning this thing. Because you're not going to start it and it's just going to be fireworks all of a sudden. It doesn't work that way. You have to go through the motions and like figure out, like fine tune and figure out what is going to not only make you money, but ultimately make you the happiest. Because if you're starting a business, you're probably doing it because you like the thing.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah. You should be passionate about it. You could be passionate about making money. I don't think that's like a crazy thing.
No, I agree.
As long as you're not being like dishonest with people.
Yeah.
I think that's a big enough passion. There are
I
plenty
agree.
of people that like live their whole life working a job they hate, but it's giving them what they need to live a fruitful life.
What was the question?
Was there even a question? Something about something? Let's see.
Maybe we'll go to the next one.
Okay. We can do that.
Yeah.
Well, I think the previous question was, would you do something different? You'd say just start
earlier, sooner. Yeah. Start sooner. Or just with me now, I always have ideas of stuff I want to start, new things, which is so funny because I feel like my plate is full, but I always just have ideas and I just want to do stuff. But I don't start them and like I wish I had. So
don't hold yourself back.
Yeah.
Because we always do. Every one of us, we just hold ourselves back from being this even better version of ourselves in every single category of life. Across the board, we could be better. We make a choice every day not to be. Some of us, we go that extra little bit, and that one category gets like a little extra juice. Like, oh, I'm making a change today in my diet. Mm-hmm. I'm making a change today with working out. I'm making a change today with my job. I'm making a change today, like with the man in the mirror. Yeah, Michael Jackson.
I'm asking him to change his ways.
Or her.
Right. So.
Or any gender pronoun that fits.
So wishes, yeah.
Right.
So, yeah, that's like you said, just start.
Just the tip. So, got a couple more. Okay. What is it like being Insta famous?
Someone asked that? You should have briefed me on these. I don't look at it that way.
I'm sure you don't.
I don't. I just don't. I am very, I don't even know what to call it. I'm just me, and I just feel very like wake up in the morning and do my work and I go to bed. Like I feel like, and I just am fortunate enough to get to do what I love. And it's been a long journey of like figuring out what that means for me. And I'm still not there all the way, but all I know is that I feel lucky and fortunate, and it's due to what I ultimately wanted to do in life, which is photography. I wanted to do photography when I was 16, and I was, let's see, how old was I when Instagram started? I think 21. Wow. So it has always been a part of my life, and it just so happens that what I love to do and what's turned into a business is this platform where I can show people and share this with people every day, and I just feel really blessed by that.
Well, and it's also temporary.
Absolutely. Because and I'm so aware of that.
What you started building kind of morphed into what it is now.
Exactly.
And it's going to keep morphing and changing, and I think it's cool that you have like an audience to see this progression.
Yeah.
That it's something I've seen living with you and experiencing myself. I mean, I remember we did a nude photo shoot when you were still going to college.
Bargles was nude.
Right. There's a lot of, It was
an assignment for Art Institute. We literally were assigned to take nude photos of male, female, separately, separate shoots, black and white only, digital. It was very specific and tasteful. Anyway, go on.
So that was the height of my career. And I was really, at the time, I thought that it was going to lead to more of that. I thought this was going to be my big break. That here I am, 21.
Right.
And I'm going to be a nude model, especially in low lighting. Didn't work out.
I had Bargles in the studio.
Did not work out.
Oh, my God.
People would come in and be like, "You guys almost done in there?"
Oh.
And I'd be like, "What?" So, how about another one? Have you ever had an office? I've been following you for a long time, and you've always said that you've worked out of your living room. Is having an office in your house really that big of a deal, considering what you've been able to accomplish?
Whoa.
I struggle with staying motivated working from home and without an office as well, but you give me hope. Have you ever considered going to a place like Starbucks just to get out of the house?
Yeah, I've fantasized about it, but it's not my thing.
We have coffee here.
Love a good save money moment. I was just talking with my sister about how incredibly overpriced coffee is when you go out.
Oh, totally. And
it's fun in small doses, like treating yourself, on a weekend day or something like that. But I love being here. I love our place. There are days that are really hard that I don't like, and that's just being human. Anyone can feel that way. And if you've been working from home this past year or for a long time and you don't have an office, you know that you just make it work, and you've been making it work.
I love it.
Yeah.
I have no problems with it. I had no problems with working in an office either.
Yeah.
I don't really have problems with working. Well,
how do you feel about I feel like you're not as sensitive as I am when it comes to like being able to have a space where you can close the door and feel like you can really get into like a creative groove.
No, I worked in offices where you had cubicles right next to other people and they were always interrupting you and messing with you, calling you on the phone, and like you're already on the phone.
I'm talking about like us here not having an extra room.
I know, and I'm saying that I worked for years being bombarded every moment and multitasking and being on the phone while someone's talking to me over here. And I'm like answering an email, and I'm doing all three. Mm-hmm. I'm wired like that. I don't know. I can turn it on and off.
Right.
The distractions and the noise. And
you're pretty special that way, though. Like you're an.
What can you say?
You're an extra special human that way. I'm not. I feel like I dream about having an office with a door, but the truth is, like we have an end goal in mind. And the longer we stay here and are able to save, the more possibility we'll have in our future. And that future is going to be way longer than this temporary time of not having the thing that I want.
Oh, yeah.
So I can choose patience and set myself up for success, or not be patient and then be screwed.
One of my favorite expressions that I've been hearing recently, and I'm probably butchering it, but it's... impatience is very expensive nowadays. And I don't think it's a nowadays thing. I think I was talking to my neighbor George, and he was saying it's not a nowadays thing. It's like it's always been that way. Like patience is so freaking valuable.
Yeah.
So impatience it's really expensive. If you can just hang a little tougher, last a little longer, you're gonna beat somebody out, or you're gonna find that thing that's like if you wait one more day, maybe then the magic boat will come up to shore, you know?
And I know that when we leave this apartment, there will be days where I miss it, so...
Well, yeah, I mean, that's how it is.
Yeah, and, like, I'm having a good day, so...
Enjoy it.
Bargles and I were on a walk, and he's like, oh, you're definitely having a good day with, like, being here. And I was like, yep. But you make it work. Switch it up. Move your desk around. Switch up your view. Sit at a different table if you can. If you have an outdoor space, sit outside for one day of the week. Like, make a schedule. Like, where am I going to sit this day? Where am I going to sit this day? Where am I going to sit this day? So that might help. But
that's some advice.
I feel like I could talk about that forever because I live it every single day.
Well, I do know as well that there are more questions.
Okay.
And there are more that are coming. And we will have to readdress some of these topics and concepts and ideas on a future episode of the All About podcast. But that concludes this week's broadcast.
Yes. I also just wanted to tip of the cap, say I love you, Bargles.
To me?
Yeah. And I also wanted to say I realize how fortunate I am to be in my position and be able to work from home like I do, and for as long as I have, and to have Bargles with me doing that. And I'm proud of you, and I'm proud of us for doing this.
Okay.
And sometimes it's not so easy to say that.
Not gonna lie, not very proud, and don't feel very fortunate. You know, you work 7 days a week for years, making not a whole lot of money. Mm-hmm. Doing close to, if not the same thing that you're doing right now, only you're doing it, obviously you've improved your skills. But I've seen it, you know. I personally hate the idea of that people that get stuff out of life are just lucky. You know, I think some of them are born into it. Sure, why not? We're all born into something.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I don't know. I have a different perspective.
I think that's great.
You worked tirelessly hard to get somewhere. You didn't know where you were trying to get to.
Yeah.
But life is always a byproduct of choices. The choices you make every day create a life. So as soon as we're done recording here, I need to go and do something with my life.
Well, I remember when I started the first 4-ish years, I did work a lot of weekends because of...
Like 3 jobs.
Well...
You would babysit. You were working part-time in an office. You'd shoot a wedding when you could. You would do portrait sessions. I was your second shooter. I was there. I know.
Yeah. But
and then you'd be like, thank God I got that wedding, boy. Oh, because like things were starting to get a little like, oh my God, DEFCON 4 the bells are ringing. Oh, we got the wedding. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Finally got that wedding.
Yeah.
And now it's like, how much would someone have to, to get you to come out of retirement? You'd have to know them.
Email me. I'll give you a quote.
It's true. Never burn the bridge. Never
No.
You've come out of retirement.
I have said openly on the podcast and my Instagram that I am never against shooting a wedding.
Right.
I respect that industry so much.
I think we could go back.
So
into
fun.
It
Yeah.
At first and do a really good job.
Yeah. I'm just at a different point in my life right now, and that's fine. It could change. It could not change.
Right.
I'm open to it.
We're shooting a wedding next month. So I don't even know what I'm talking about. We're shooting a wedding next month.
It's a very unique and cool opportunity, though. So I'm, more on that later, but I'm excited.
Spoiler.
Thank you for listening. We appreciate you guys. And if you have no idea what we're talking about, the website is ariellevay.com.
ariellevay.com, e-commerce shop where you can buy prints, presets, canvases, frames, inspiration for your future print shop endeavors, because everyone has a print shop now. Or they're getting one. And if you don't got one and don't even want one, email us, allaboutitpodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Hand on heart, I will lead you astray.
Are you Pledge of Allegiance, Bargles?
I will lead you down a path that is full of resistance, and you won't probably enjoy it.
Oh my God. Well, follow us on Instagram at allaboutitpodcast. Fun stuff coming there soon, so you don't want to miss it. And code all about it.
Oh yes, that is a code
on our website, ariellevay.com. 20% off. All about it.
That's all.
And we'll leave the link below.
Couldn't do more. Good job.
Well, Bargles, maybe you'll have an episode on that later.
Couldn't give 21%.
I don't think so.
22. Couldn't give one more.
Not unless you're wholesale, in which case, shoot us an email.
Yeah, shop ariellevay.com.
We love you guys. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.
Till next time.
Bye.